Hi, I'm Fred Freed, and recently I posted a video of my solo guitar arrangement of Somewhere Over the Rainbow from The Wizard of Oz by Harold Arlen and Yip Harburg. If you've seen it, maybe you've seen it. If you haven't, I'm linking it down below so you can check out what I did, because that's what I'm going to be talking about in this video, how I went about creating the harmony, or how I thought about how the voices moved, and various subjects along the way. So, firstly, let me tell you, this is an 8-string guitar with a low A under the low E, high A over the high E, but please don't let that deter you from checking out the video, because, you know, I'm talking about a lot of subjects that have no bearing on it. It doesn't matter what you're playing, 6-string, 7, 8, or 9-string guitar. So with that said, I did the tune in the key of E flat, and I came up with an intro, which is really a quote from the bridge. And I'm playing that over an A flat minor 7th chord. But to make it a little nicer, I'm harmonizing that little melody with perfect fifths. So here's what it sounds like. I like that. Now I'm going to an E major 7 chord, a half step above the tonic, and I think I played a little line on it. What line, I don't remember what I played, but now I'm going to drop down to my tonic chord. Now the melody is E flat, the chord is E flat, and there are various ways of going about when you have that situation where the melody is the tonic and is with the same chord, 2 E flats. In this case, I took an E flat major 7 voiced root 3rd as the G, D major 7, and E flat. So what I did was, I've got the major 7th, the D, right next to the melody note or the tonic. That minor 2nd there is a really nice sound on guitar. But what I did was, once I played that, I changed the chord to where it sounds, it's basically an A flat over E flat, 4 over 1. And if you'll notice, I sustain, or I hold that melody while my fingers are moving in the middle voices. The G of the E flat moved up a half step to the A flat, and the D, the major 7, moved down whole step to the C of an A flat. Essential to this was the fact that I held the melody note and I didn't drop it. It's kind of pianistic in that aspect, and sometimes it takes a little practice to hold 2 fingers down while your other 2 fingers are moving. So it was important to hold that melody note. And also what I do hear a lot is that if the chord changes but the melody should sustain, should hold, I don't play the melody twice if I don't have to. I don't do this. I just don't think that's as musical. Not that I'm always a stickler for the melody, but in this case, it's more musical to just hold it. Okay. So what I'm doing now, after I hit the A flat or E flat, is I drop that major 3rd, the A flat, and the C to G and B natural, while I go up and play my melody note somewhere. So I have, now that's rather vague, but I'm thinking I'm going to be going to an A flat minor 7th chord and then to my G minor. So what I did was created a line that makes it make more sense. So and there's my A flat minor 7th chord, and now drop to my G minor to continue the melody. Okay, now similarly to what I did on that intro, I'm going to harmonize on the G minor the melody, 5ths, 6, and the 6 is going to move up whole step, but it's going to be included in a D major triad over B flat. So I've got there's D major over B flat, and ordinarily as written, it's really B flat 7. Simple as that. I like the dissonance of the D triad over B flat. If you want to call it a B flat major 7 sharp 5, fine. Now I have a major third between the D and the F sharp, and I want to move that up a half step and keep it going to my next chord. And there's my melody note is E flat up here. But now I have, basically it's a B flat minor 7 flat 5, and I've got this major third up here which can move. And my thinking on that is just that after this first chord where I have an E natural and G flat, I can think a 2-5 to the 4 chord. In other words, B flat minor 7, E flat 7 to A flat, and that of course would take like a B flat Dorian scale in thirds. So I have this, and then I'm just, there are my thirds over that chord. It could be an E flat as well. Then I'm implying like an F major over E flat, and then I'm bringing it back to make it okay. So here we go from, let's backtrack a little bit. Now I'm ready to go to my 4 chord, my A flat, way up high, which would be A flat major 7, but what I did was I made it implied like a B flat over A flat. There's my B flat, and D, but there's my melody note half step away from the D. And then I drop that major third down while I hold that melody. Now that's an A flat chord, and I'm going to go, ordinarily it probably would, I think it would go to a diminished chord to my tonic. But instead of that, I was at this A flat chord. I went down a whole step, G flat major 7 with a sharp 4, to an F minor, to an E major 7. And to make that a little nicer, when I went from the G flat major 7 to the F minor, I put in a little line to help me get there. So here is what I did. A flat. See, ba, 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 da. Now I'm at my F minor. Then the melody note is the B flat. Here's my E major 7, and I'm adding a line in there. And what I did was that line led to, that's a B flat major 7, and then that's an E flat minor 9 with a 4 and an 11. 1, 5, 3, minor third, 4, flat 7, 9, and then I'm going to go to my 4 chord, my A flat. So rather than 2-5ing into the A flat by way of B flat minor to E flat 7, I went B flat major 7, which is unusual, and then it goes to my A flat, and it sounds absolutely lovely and natural. At least to me it does. So I've gone to my A flat major 7, and I'm voicing it A flat, the root, major 7, 9 or 2, third, that's the melody note. I like this voicing, I like the way it sounds, but also I have that minor third between the major 7 and 9. See how I can move that, the thirds down, while holding the melody, hopefully. And now I'm going to go to a big D flat minor 9 with a 6 in it. So I've got, the key to this is, here's a little thing to think about. You've got this big fat chord I'm playing. This basically D flat minor chord. But you don't have to, certain chords you don't have to come down with your fingers all at the same time. If you can hit that melody note and sustain it, then fill in or arpeggiate the chord after that. It's very effective. Better than going bum, 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 hitting the note. There's it's just, I think, more pianistic to. Okay, moving on. We go to our tonic. Land that I've heard of. So I go to, here's my E flat major 7. Ordinarily, what I might do doing is going chromatically down from there with some dominance. Come on, Fred. Which sounds nice, but I wanted to get something different. So what I came up with was there's a tonic. Then that's a B triad over E, and that chord is going to move parallel up with the melody. So I have. Now I'm going to add a line to make it a little nicer. So I have that, and then I went to D minor 7th. Now here's where a case where I'm moving parallel perfect fifths with under the melody. There's a D minor 7th where the minor 3rd and the 7th, moving up a half step. Another half step to E minor. Here's my melody note. The melody moves up half step, as does. There's my perfect fifth. It's like going E minor 7th to E major 7th. Okay, so then back down. That's an E major 9, still have that a fifth interval in there. Now, D minor 7th or D minor 9 if you want, but I do have the fifth here. C minor, and now a delay before my tonic chord. D flat, going to my E flat. And to make that D minor go to the C minor a little nicer, a little more palatable, I add a little line. Then there's my D flat 6/9 to my tonic, my E flat. So I did a little maneuver there where I learned from George Van Epps. And what I did was, if you can replace one finger by another finger on the same fret, hold a note. See. Basically, you can play a note, and if you can slip in a finger behind it while the string is depressed against the fret, the note sustains. So, not to belabor that point, but it's a nice little thing to have under your belt. How often do I use it? Maybe every other leap year, but it's nice to have it when you need it. Okay. So I get Once in a Lullaby, little turnaround, minor 4, fifths there. Here's my E major 7 again. Now I'm at the second A, which is similar to what I did the first time around, where I went to the E flat major 7, and then the A flat, but I repeated that, holding the melody. And now I'm going to get to a G minor by way of an E major 7, G flat major 7, and I've got that nice little. So I've backtracking a little bit. Notice I'm holding that melody at that high E flat. Okay, G minor now, similar to what I did before. Little variation, but the same thing. That's just a big B flat minor 7, but now I have a 10th between the B flat and D flat. And when I hit that chord, I'm going to use that 10th as a little point of departure for fill, starting with tenths. So, to do, I'm going to a 4 chord now, same as I did before. That Lydian sound like a B flat over A flat to A flat. Now G flat, now instead of going to F minor, which I did before, I'm going to hold that and go up. E flat over G, came in the back door to get to the tonic. So I've got that E flat over G, F minor 7, and now, out of nowhere, I'm playing A minor 7, basically, E minor 7, I'm sorry, E minor 7, A minor 7. Where did that come from? I'm not sure. I just came up with it, played it a few times and said, yeah, I really like that. Sometimes you have an instinct, you go somewhere, could be a mistake, but in that case, I really liked it. And since I went from E minor to A minor, it's going to go to my A flat anyway. So backtracking once more from here's my A minor now. My 4 chord, same as I did before, the A flat. Hold the melody, arpeggiate upwards with that D flat minor chord. And then what I did before was this, but I'm not going to play the same line as I did, and I've got a series of double stops going through that sequence, which is okay, and then once again, those minor 7s with 5ths moving. Anyway, there's the minor 4 to the E flat. I'm coming to the bridge now, okay? So the bridge, basically, I took from the tonic, I took a bass line going down diatonically to start. And I'm going to say, well, I'm going to fill, how can I fill in the chord between that bass line, the bass notes and the melody? And what I came up with was, it's just a tonic, E flat major. Now, over the D, I made it a D minor 9, which is kind of a surprise sound. Now, it's a G over C minor. It's basically root. It's a big C minor, root, minor 3rd, major 7, 9, 5, but it's a G triad there over C minor. That's basically the tonic. It's like E flat, major 7 over B flat. Okay, now I'm going to the 2 chord, F minor, over E flat, flat 7 in the bass, E flat over D. Over B, E major 7 over. Now ordinarily we come to this point, it's a turnaround. But I wanted to make it a little darker, a little more mysterious. So I did. I see that as like a G minor 9 over C, F minor over C, repeat it. Melody repeats again, same thing I did. D minor 9 or minor 11. G over C minor. Okay, there's E flat over B flat. Now ordinarily it's going to go A minor D7. But I go to A minor, but I'm going to have an A pedal and then a B flat major 7 over A. There's that little mysterious dark sound. Now here comes a turnaround, and I do play a turnaround except without roots, very simply. No roots. I like the separation between the high notes and the thirds and sevenths, basically. So, brain dead. Third. Okay, and here's where I'm going to modulate. I'm going to go from E flat to E major, and I could just go boom right to E major, but I decided to add a little something to say a curtain is opening to a brand new scene. And what I did there was I went to basically an A Lydian sound, meaning it's just going to be like a B to A over the A pedal. Now I go to E with melody. Simple melody, not even a third in the chord, just answering that melody. Then to my G sharp minor, which is now I'm going to do basically what I did in the A sections, except a half step higher. Now an A, but the Lydian sound here. Or I could have used open strings. Okay, then to a G. So I had this little motive going on with then there's E over G sharp. Coming in the back door again. There's my F sharp minor, and now this is what I did the other time out of nowhere. I mean, this is this beautiful F minor to B flat minor. Leads me to my 4 chord and a little embellishment of the melody. There's basically A major to D7 with sharp 11. Notice how I held the melody, arpeggiated upwards as I held it. And then what I did, I'm going to do exactly pretty much what I did in the first A section, half step higher. Or something like that. And then also what I did earlier in the new key. To E, D6, 9, and the open E string, making it an E. Okay, now that's an A minor, F major 7. We're coming to the tag, which starts as the same as the bridge, which I use basically the same chords. F sharp minor 7 over E. Now here's a D sharp 7, sharp 9, sharp 11, moving line inside. A G sharp 7, sharp 9, B over A, B, B, G sharp 7 going to C sharp minor. See, that's B, C sharp minor. The 5 of that really is a G sharp 7 back to C sharp minor. B over A, C sharp minor. Sorry. That's just a B over D sharp. And then finally, it's a little quote from "We're off to see the wizard." Repeat that little melody. So there, that's how I basically, my thinking and how I approach that kind of a tune like that. It's a beautiful tune for you to experiment with. And I try to keep the essence, the feeling of that tune, of the beauty of the tune. And hopefully I succeeded. And like I said, if you want to see the whole thing, just go click on the link. But there's the way I would approach a tune like that. And you don't have to, a lot of things are applicable to playing with a group or doing what you want. So I'm just trying to give you, convey some ideas where you can think, oh, I can harmonize this with just a line, or this chord, how does this chord get to that chord? What voices move, what doesn't have to move, and things like that. So it's the more you do it, the more you're gonna discover, and it's fun for me. I love doing stuff like that, and that's about all. So I hope you've enjoyed, this video, and I really thank you so much for watching and listening, and maybe I'll see you again soon. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.